welcome to Explicit Gamer's very first podcast. I'm Dave, aka Shadow Turian.
And I'm John, aka X42 Alpha.
Because this is our very first podcast, you'll have to forgive us if it sounds a bit amateurish. Me and John don't exactly know how we're going to do these yet.
In this podcast, we're going to be keeping it pretty basic and give you a general overview of the latest news topics. Right, let's get the show on the road.
Okay, to kick things off, on Wednesday the 2nd of November, the very first Grand Theft Auto 5 trailer went live at 4pm UK time. After a lot of waiting, it is finally here. I watched it and I was personally very impressed.
Considering it's the first trailer, it looked very good, especially if it was gameplay, which isn't actually confirmed yet. It does only reveal a few things though. The location looks to be set in Rockstar's version of LA, which takes them back to Vinewood, as revealed by the sign at the end of the trailer. A major rumour circulating the web is that the main character is going to be Tommy Vercetti from Vice City, from the main character that we see in the trailer.
We want to know what you think that the trailer reveals. There are also a few other rumours circulating. One seems to be quite legible from a Rockstar insider. He claims the game is going to be set around the main character being a newly qualified cop out of the academy. It also explains that the player will be able to answer radio calls, arrest suspects, make traffic stops for a taillight being out. If this rumour is true, it obviously rules out Tommy Vercetti being the main character, although the trailer does seem to contradict the insider because the narrator of the trailer mentions retiring.
Right, and on to the next bit of big news, which would be the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. The newest iteration in the Elder Scrolls series has finally arrived, and the reception has been great, with various reviewers hailing it as the next game of the year. It has branching storylines, including guilds, side quests, and random quests that are found throughout the various towns and cities in the game. I've been playing the game since launch, and I'm incredibly impressed with just about everything included in it. I've put about 40 to 50 hours into the game so far, and the scope of the game in general is amazing, with so many things to see and do. Quest storylines are very interesting, with brilliant voice work from many of the characters. I'll be posting a full review on the site as soon as I've completed a significant portion of the game. So stay tuned to the site for more information, and the review should be posted within the next few weeks.
Moving on to Assassin's Creed Revelations. Many of you may have seen the adverts on TV for the game. I have, and it looks more like an animated movie. Although it does look set to be very good, I have to say I think EA are focusing way too much on Ezio. This is apparently going to be the last game to feature Ezio, and it will be moving away from Renaissance Italy, which also seems to be hinting that there's another instalment of the game on the way already. Assassin's Creed hit stores this month, and it was very well received. Now I'm going to talk about a few more games and give your ears a break and let your gamepads feel some fury.
Activision have been doing a lot of promotion for Modern Warfare 3. The story actually sounds really good, but going by the Call of Duty tradition, it will be very short. The game is obviously going to be multiplayer-centric.
I think it's going to be pretty much like the last few Call of Duty games, which have all been based around the main multiplayer, and the storyline seems to be really, really short, which is quite unfortunate actually, because the storylines of the games are actually really good, but just way too short.
Yeah, characters are usually very good, very well voiced, and also it's usually an interesting story. It's just a pity that it cuts off at such a short point, really.
It's also quite annoying because they kill off the characters before you get to really know them.
Exactly.
Another thing they've added to this new Call of Duty is the elite system, which I really don't understand how it works, but apparently you get exclusive access to competitions, forums, and I'm not sure if prizes are included.
I think possibly. Also, you can basically access all your stats online. Look at all your kill ratios, things like that. It's basically like Battlefield's battle log.
Yeah,
basically same sort of thing.
Hopefully glitch free though, unlike the battle log.
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't.
I've got to say the battle log is really, really good if it works.
Which is kind of hit and miss.
The only other problem with Call of Duty Elite is that you have to pay for it every year.
Exactly.
Which is another 40 quid on top of your Xbox Live subscription, which makes it 80 quid to run your Xbox if you want Elite as well.
Exactly, and for PSN subscribers, if you've got PS Plus, you're gonna be looking at another £40 on top of your PlayStation Plus subscription.
I suppose it's not too bad if you haven't got PlayStation Plus, really, because you haven't got to pay. You haven't got to pay for PlayStation Plus and then pay for Elite, so that should be pretty good.
I think this service was basically just to garner some more money out of it, but they could not justify making it so that you have to pay for the actual online component.
It's kind of annoying how EA are kind of orientated like that, because they seem to get as much money as possible. Sorry, Activision.
Yeah, basically, it's the same sort of affair as all the other Call of Duty games, but with a few slight changes to make it a bit more interesting this time around. Personally, I won't be buying it unless it comes down in price. 45 quid is a lot.
If it comes down in price, I'll definitely be buying it, but 45 quid is just way too much. I mean, I can't understand how they justify charging the extra £5. I mean, I know it's only £5, but still. Other games...
Yeah, I mean, Skyrim, 350 hours gameplay, and you get it for £40.
Exactly. So, okay, we're going to move on now. The Third Street Saints are making another return in Saints Row the Third. If the other games are anything to go by, it's going to be a light-hearted version of GTA. I kind of would have liked to have had a proper gameplay demo to try the game instead of like a character creator before I go and spend 40 quid and realise it's actually a mediocre game but good for a laugh. We'll see anyway.
Personal opinion on the game. I wasn't very impressed with Saints Row 2. Vehicle handling was
dreadful,
terrible. I mean, you could drive a car and it would feel like it was on rails. There was good points though. Do include good variety of vehicles. I mean, for starters, it had planes, which is something GTA4 didn't have.
Insanely hilarious.
Yeah, which was funny. But you know, the plane handling, the physics weren't actually that good. They didn't.
I don't think the physics engine wasn't actually too bad. It was just they didn't really pay much attention to like every other little detail, which is kind of a shame. And I mean, I understand that it's meant to be like an arcade game and it's meant to be a light-hearted GTA, obviously, but it's just a shame because it could be such a good game if they just like ramped up the graphics.
Exactly. And also the thing that made GTA4 really enjoyable was just the little tiny things. The tiny things like being able to eat, being able to go places, being able to go on dates, that sort of thing. It just made the game a bit more polished in general.
Oh God, I was going to say something then.
Right, well, Dave jogs his memory. Okay, only a few more to go and then we'll be done. Halo Anniversary, a remake of the original game out this month and a bargain at only £30. It looks like it's going to be quite popular amongst Halo fans. Maybe it's the idea of being able to play the original story in spangly HD, or the fact that you can play co-op with mates over Xbox Live, a new feature that is sure to bring back fans of the original game.
I've got to say I'm pretty much looking forward to this game. I really want it. I mean, the only Halo game that I played before Halo Reach was ODST. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I can't wait to actually get my hands on it myself because I've never played the first one.
I know, yeah, exactly. I mean, I played the first one briefly, but to be honest, I was too young to understand most of the story, so I didn't really complete it. I didn't really get very far in it, and I'd like to go back, complete it all, know the start of Master Chief's legacy, basically.
I'm glad I actually waited now because I can play it in HD as well.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't make much of a difference back when we were on Xbox because, let's face it, nothing was in HD anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
But anyway, moving on to Star Wars The Old Republic.
Okay, to show that we're not biased here at Explicit Gamer, we're actually going to mention a PC game. We've been anticipating this game for a while. It's the new Star Wars MMO The Old Republic. The game looks to be a competitor for the MMO titan that is World of Warcraft. Yeah,
basically, it's just going to be a Star Wars version of World of Warcraft, but, you know, obviously the features are going to be completely changed. I mean, for example, races are going to be alongside the Star Wars lore. I'm excited for it. I mean, if I can get it to run on my laptop, which is not certain, yeah, I mean, it should be a good game. I've heard rumours of the fact that you can decide to be a Sith Lord, or a Jedi.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if you get the whole space battles going, that'd be really cool.
Oh yeah, there's full space battles. You get your own ship, and obviously as you progress further through the game, you're going to be getting new ships, things like that. So you're going to be, space battles are going to be quite a big part of the game, I'd say. Probably.
Sounds really good because I actually like the idea of being able to just fly through open space with like millions of miles and light years of space around you.
Exactly, and there's also the game is based over multiple planets. It's based over a galaxy, so basically you travel around the galaxy, go to whichever planet you want. You do various quests, side quests, whatever.
That's actually quite good, being able to travel between galaxies to do missions. I like the idea of being able to do that.
That should be quite an integral part to the game because let's face it,
it should make travel time interesting.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, open world games, there's millions of them now, but games that you can actually switch between galaxies. Now, the only one I can really think of on PC would be EVE Online, and I mean that's
too complicated.
It's not very approachable to people who aren't really into games. I mean, you're not going to be getting players from World of Warcraft playing this kind of game.
And if you're not a mathematician, you're not really going to get it.
I know, yeah, the learning curve is a bit steep.
Or a space scientist.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we're going to move on now to Mass Effect 3.
On the subject of sci-fi, just wanted to mention Mass Effect 3. I know it's not out until March, but like with the last one, it looks just simply brilliant. New features include multiplayer online, which is predictable as it is now published by EA, and they're obviously trying to garner maximum profit from this entry.
I hope it doesn't include map packs.
Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I played the first Mass Effect, and it was published by Microsoft, obviously, making it Xbox exclusive, which is still stands today. I mean, they're not going to be bringing this to PS3 anytime soon.
If they take it down the road of Call of Duty, I don't think I'd be buying it.
No. The fact they said at E3 that the game is still going to be very single player centric. It's going to have all sorts of things to do on the single player. There's going to be new features and everything, and the storyline is still going to be the main focus. But the multiplayer is just something for you to dabble in, play with your mates, that sort of thing.
Personally, I'm quite happy that it's gone to PS3 now. But the only problem is that we haven't got the first one on PS3.
Exactly.
So you can't.
You're missing out on a massive chunk of the story, basically, all the choices that you make through the first
You can't
game.
carry over any of your choices from the first one into the second one, which is a really big kind of pain in the ass.
I mean, they've tried to substitute it by adding the comic style book.
To review.
Yeah, it's basically just to fill in the gaps, but it doesn't really suffice. I mean, that's an entire game you're missing, and you're just playing it through a comic strip that you don't really play, you just watch.
Yeah,
is a bit
I'd rather actually experience the game than watch the game.
It's probably better.
I mean, except for Metal Gear Solid, which is probably the only other game that I actually enjoy watching movie clips from.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, well, at least, the stellar voice acting. Voice work was brilliant, characters were awesome.
Oh my god, I can't wait for the next Metal Gear Solid. The next proper Metal Gear Solid, not this new... What's the new Metal Gear Solid called? Metal Gear Solid Rising, that's the one.
Yeah. Anyway, even though we veered off a bit there, we're going to move on to the end now. Well, that's all for this podcast, so until next time, happy gaming, and don't forget you can discuss everything mentioned in the podcast on the forum.
You can even suggest anything you want featured in the next podcast by contacting me via PM on the site or Xbox Live at Shadow Turian.
Or me via PM on the site or Xbox Live at X42 Alpha.
Also, check out our Twitter to keep up to date with all the latest about the news on the site.